Stop. Before you feed your baby their next bottle, watch this. Formula is one of the most tightly regulated foods in the United States. Parents trust that. And that trust is exactly what we need to talk about. Because here is something almost no parent knows, and that the companies behind the most popular formula brands would prefer you never find out. There are no federal limits on how much arsenic, lead, or cadmium is allowed in your baby's formula. None. The European Union has them, Canada has them, Australia has them, the United States does not. And without limits, there is no legal requirement for companies to test for these contaminants. And if they do test, there is no requirement to publish the results. Consumer Reports tested 90 infant formulas across 2 rounds of independent testing in 2025 and 2026. About half contained levels of arsenic or lead at or above their level of concern. Most brands gave no explanation. Some challenged the methodology. Almost none published their own independent test results. Here is what we found, including one brand that does things completely differently. And we are saving the most surprising brand on this list for last. Because the formula sitting in millions of American homes right now is not what most parents think it is. One important note before we name brands. The FDA tested over 300 formula samples in April 2026 and said the U.S. market is safe. Consumer Reports agreed the levels found are not immediately dangerous. We are not here to cause panic, but here is the key distinction. The FDA used EPA drinking water standards to evaluate the results. Consumer Reports used California's Maximum Allowable Daily Limit, a more protective standard specifically designed for infant exposure. The same contaminant levels look very different depending on which benchmark you use. And both the FDA and Consumer Reports agree on one thing. There are no formal federal limits on heavy metals in formula. That means there is no legal floor that companies must meet. The only protection parents have is voluntary testing by manufacturers and voluntary disclosure of those results. We evaluated every brand on 3 things. First, did they publish independent third-party test results? Second, did their products appear in Consumer Reports' top choice category? Third, what did they say when Consumer Reports asked them directly? The answers tell you everything. Here is a preview of what is coming. Brand number 1, the formula with the highest arsenic levels in Consumer Reports' entire test, made by the same company that caused the 2022 nationwide formula shortage. Brand number 2, a brand that had products in both the safest and most concerning categories in the same round of testing. The brand name tells you nothing about the specific product in your hands. Brand number 3, the one that will surprise you most. 4 different store brands from 4 different retailers, 1 manufacturer. And that manufacturer is currently considering selling its entire formula business. And then, the one brand where the data actually holds up. Let's go. Abbott Nutrition. Abbott makes Similac and EleCare. In Consumer Reports' 2025 testing of 41 powdered formulas, Abbott's EleCare Hypoallergenic had the highest inorganic arsenic level of all formulas tested, 19.7 parts per billion. Similac Alimentum came second at 15.1 parts per billion. For context, the Environmental Protection Agency limits arsenic in municipal drinking water to 10 parts per billion. Both of these products exceed that benchmark in Consumer Reports testing. Abbott responded by saying it had concerns about Consumer Reports methodology, that heavy metals are never intentionally added, that trace levels occur naturally in the environment and are found even in breast milk, and that its formulas meet all relevant regulatory requirements in the U.S. and internationally. A vice president at Abbott Nutrition wrote to Consumer Reports, Abbott has a multi-step quality process in place for heavy metals to ensure that levels satisfy all relevant regulatory requirements in all countries we serve. He added that he disagreed with Consumer Reports using California's conservative metrics to assess risk. Those are Abbott's words. Here is ours. What Abbott did not include was a link to their published independent test results, because to date, they have not published them. This is the same Abbott whose single manufacturing plant shut down in 2022 caused a nationwide formula shortage that left parents scrambling across all 50 states, the largest formula manufacturer in America, and no published independent heavy metal testing. Mead Johnson Enfamil, the second most purchased formula brand in America. Mead Johnson also challenged Consumer Reports results. Their statement: "We employ stringent testing protocols for heavy metals, and our acceptable ranges ensure compliance with all major international regulations." Here is the problem with that statement. In the same round of Consumer Reports testing, Enfamil had products in both the top choice and worst choice categories. Enfamil AR was a top choice. Other Enfamil products were not. Same brand, same store shelf, very different results. The brand name alone tells you nothing about the specific product in your hands. And Mead Johnson has not published independent third-party test results that would let parents know the difference. We promised you the most surprising brand on this list, and we are about to show you something that will make you look at the formula aisle very differently the next time you walk through it. Because what looks like 4 different choices may actually be one choice, and that one manufacturer is in the middle of a major business decision that could affect every family buying these products right now. Kirkland Signature at Costco, Parents' Choice at Walmart, Up and Up at Target, Members Mark at Sam's Club. 4 different names, 4 different store labels, 4 different prices. One manufacturer, Perrigo. Perrigo is the largest store brand infant formula manufacturer in the United States. Most parents have no idea. When they choose between Kirkland and Parents' Choice, they think they are choosing between 2 different companies with 2 different formulas. They are not. They are choosing between 2 versions of the same product from the same facility. And here is why it matters right now specifically. In November 2025, Perrigo announced a strategic review of its entire infant formula business, specifically to assess whether to sell it. The future of Kirkland, Parents' Choice, Up and Up, and Members Mark formula is currently uncertain. Parents loyal to one of these brands may soon find it changing hands entirely. And on the testing question, in Consumer Reports 2026 testing, 2 specific Up and Up products, Up and Up Hypoallergenic and Up and Up Sensitivity Premium, contained inorganic arsenic above Consumer Reports' daily level of concern. One store brand from the same manufacturer can be a top choice. Another can exceed concern thresholds. Parents buying any Perrigo store brand have no way to know which category their specific product falls into because the manufacturer publishes no results. 3 of the most purchased formula brands in America. No published independent test results between them. Now here is the brand that did things differently, and the difference is not small. Bobby. In March 2025 and March 2026, Consumer Reports tested Bobby's formula across 2 separate rounds of independent testing. All 4 Bobby formulas, Organic Whole Milk, Organic Original, Organic Gentle, and Grass-Fed Whole Milk, were named top choice in both rounds. Non-detectable to low levels across lead, arsenic, BPA, acrylamide, cadmium, and mercury. Consumer Reports stated in its published findings, all the Bobby formulas we have spot-checked in both rounds of testing have been in the top choice category with no or low levels of detected contaminants. But the test results are only part of the story. Here's what Bobby does that the other brands on this list do not. Bobby's CEO, Laura Modi, told Consumer Reports directly, "We pride ourselves on being test-obsessed. Not a single batch leaves the facility until it goes through 2,000 quality checkpoints. They are the first and only infant formula brand in the United States to receive the Clean Label Project Purity Award and pesticide-free certification, tested against 400 chemicals, including toxic heavy metals. They have partnered with Light Labs for voluntary monthly testing of 578 toxins, pesticides, and phthalates, and they publish those results on their website for free without a paywall. They have introduced SRC testing, sulfite-reducing Clostridia screening, a proactive protocol to detect potential spore-forming bacteria, including Clostridium botulinum, before any product leaves the facility. This exceeds current FDA requirements. Bobby is not the cheapest formula on the market. At $27.99 for a 14-ounce can at Target, it costs more than store brands. But it is available at Target across 1,900 stores nationwide, at Walmart, and online at hibobby.com. No subscription required. And it is the only formula brand whose entire product line has earned top choice status in 2 consecutive rounds of Consumer Reports independent testing, with published results that any parent can verify themselves. No federal limits, no requirement to test, no requirement to publish. That is the framework within which every infant formula in the United States is currently produced and sold. Abbott's EleCare Hypoallergenic, the highest arsenic level in Consumer Reports' entire test. No published independent results. Enfamil, products in both the top choice and worst choice categories in the same round of testing. No published independent results. Kirkland, Parents' Choice, Up and Up, Members Mark, one manufacturer currently reviewing whether to sell its entire formula business. No published independent results. And then there is Bobby. Every formula, both rounds of testing, top choice, results published, free to verify. There is one thing both the FDA and Consumer Reports agree on, something Hannah Gardner of the University of Miami said to Consumer Reports that we think every parent deserves to hear. It shouldn't be on consumers to protect their children from contaminants in infant formula. There's no way for parents to know the heavy metal contamination unless there's disclosure, clear, easy to access, easy to interpret disclosure. You now know what to look for. All sources are linked in the description. Which formula does your baby use? Tell us in the comments. Other parents reading this want to know.